the College of Arts and Science. I really wish that we were all together today, but given that there's over 2,000 of us, and we're still a little bit worried about the spread of the pandemic and the virus, we decided to do this remotely, and then offer and encourage you the opportunities to get together in small groups in your departments, where you'll really find the most interaction and hospitality, let me say. So let me tell you a little bit about myself in the college, and then we have several students who are here to provide you words of wisdom, because I know that no matter what I tell you, it will be a lot less meaningful than the students who have lived the experience recently. So as I said, I'm Chris Makroff. I've been at Miami for 32 years. I'm a biochemist. So for all of you scientists out there, go, right? I'm also the father of 2 Miami alumni. So I've been a professor, a chemistry professor. I've been a father, and now you can sort of call me a head paper pusher here at the College of Arts and Science. But I've seen all aspects of Miami University over many different years. And I came to Miami because I sort of considered it to be the perfect university. We're big enough that you're going to find everything that you would find at a big school, but we're small enough that it has the feel of a small liberal arts school. And so my few words of wisdom I want to leave you are to get involved and to take advantage of all the resources that we have. So, the father in me tells you, go to class. It also tells you to go to office hours. Do not be afraid to go up and introduce yourself to your professor. Ask questions when you have questions, because I assure you that you are not the only person in the class that has that same question. And the professor is just waiting to help you. So get help early, and don't get behind. So hopefully the students will agree with me, but it's my impression as a faculty member that things move a lot faster in university life than they do in high school. And it's really easy to sort of fall behind. So don't wait till the night before to start that paper or to start cramming for that big chemistry or biology exam, because I think that'll be a failed experiment. I guess my other piece of advice for you would be to get involved, but to also sort of pick and choose what you get involved in. I've met so many students who have their day planners that are planned from like 6:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night. And they go from one thing to the next to the next. They're part of like 23 different committees or groups. And so what I would suggest you do is pick a couple, maybe one that you're really familiar with and one that's something new. Try something new, and then find that one that clicks with you and take on a leadership position. Because what you want to do is you want to be in a position where your faculty and your staff and your mentors will be able to write that great letter of recommendation for you. And then I guess my last piece of advice, based on my interaction with alumni, is it's never too early to start thinking about career services and identifying that internship. I know you're just getting on campus now, you're meeting a whole bunch of new people, you're finding your way around campus, but I guarantee you, these are going to be 4 wonderful years, but they are going to fly by. And so what you want to be doing is thinking about what you're going to do when it comes time to graduate, whether it's medical school or law school or graduate school or getting that sweet job that's your dream job. You want to start planning ahead. Don't wait until it's senior year and you don't want to go back and live in mom and dad's basement, right? So we're here to help. Reach out to us. We are more than happy to do whatever we can to make your transition to Miami smooth and set you on the course to success. So with that, I'm going to stop babbling and I'm going to turn it over to our first student, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a zoology and pre-med student, and I'm going to be a junior this year. I'm involved in organizations like Paws for a Cause. I just picked up a puppy yesterday while I was moving in, which was chaos. And I'm in PG and a business frat, and that's about it. Layla, do you want to go?
Of course. I'm Layla. I'm a junior political science major, and I'm a second year RA. This year I'm in Emerson. Some of my residents are watching. Hey. I am also a graduate scholar. I can explain more on that if you have any questions. I am part of F Word, which is a feminist group on campus. And what else do I do? I do a lot. Oh, I'm a CAS ambassador. I'm a College of Arts and Sciences ambassador, which is why I'm here today. So if you have any questions about that, you can ask those also. Emily, would you like to go?
Of course. My name is Emiliana Kasanga, and I am going to be a junior. I am a first-time RA. I am originally from Tanzania. I am a CAS ambassador. I'm not involved with any club. I'm not involved with any club right now, but I hope to join one in the Mega Fair. And I recently finished my internship this summer, my first internship, and I'm hoping to do another one this fall with the Department of State.
Excellent. So Katie, before we turn it back over to the adults, I know there's a whole bunch of new biology and chemistry majors out there. A lot of students who are thinking pre-med, pre-vet, pre-dent. Why don't you, could you talk just a little bit about your experience as a biology major and give some words of advice, because I know that those biology and chemistry classes have a reputation of being some of the harder ones out there. Can you talk a little bit to the incoming students and give them some words of advice?
Yes, of course. So for me, SI is very important. It's a group that you'll have instructors, students in your classes, and they help prepare study guides, and they help go through lecture material more in depth than a professor may have time for. And they help you study for exams, and I found those very helpful. And they'll have them for your intro bio your freshman year and your chemistry your freshman year. So I would highly encourage you go to that. And then office hours. I personally love office hours because you get a one-on-one connection with your professor. And if any of you have Stewart, make sure to go to your chemistry office hours. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Great. So I'm sure that there's going to be a bunch of questions out there. And so if we have time at the end, we will try to get to as many of your questions as possible. So if you do have questions, please put them in the chat, and then we will sort of divvy them up to the right place at the end of our session today. So why don't I turn it over to Mr. Ted Peters, our Associate Dean and our Chief Academic Advisor for the College of Arts and Science.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for that promotion. I'm the Assistant Dean.
Assistant Dean, Associate Dean, whatever,
I'll take it. My name is Ted Peters. I am the Assistant Dean. My chief role for the college is to kind of oversee the academic advising and undergraduate student services components of the College of Arts and Science, kind of in an overall sense. So my team of advisors are going to be many of your assigned advisors. So something that I want you to be aware of is that these professional advisors are here for you, to help you out, to answer your questions, to meet with you, to talk about planning in the future. They're great resources. So whenever you have questions, please feel free to reach out to them. If you're not aware of how to find your advisor, it's really, really easy. You just log into My Miami, go to your student tab, and in the top right, you will see their information and contact information. So, their email and whatnot. So what I have to say is reach out, ask for help. If we don't know the answer, or if we're not even the office that necessarily works with that issue, we are happy to get you connected to the right place and the right people. For me, I hate the idea that we might have students who are out there struggling to find connections and to get answers when they need help. So when in doubt, feel free to contact us. The divisional advising office is housed in Upham Hall. So if you ever need to just stop by and ask a question, you can do that as well. We're in 146. And we welcome and look forward to seeing you. You all should have gotten a message from your academic advisor already, just kind of welcoming you to the fall semester and have provide some, information. What I would recommend is that you build a filter in your Gmail to kind of put that into a special folder and say, hey, messages from my advisor need to go here because I need to know when they're coming in. You get a lot of email, we know that. So this might be one way for you to help yourself and kind of wade through all of those messages. So to reiterate and in short, we're here, we want to help you, we want to work with you, we want to support you. So we'll reach out to you, but we also want you to reach out to us when you have questions. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn Craig, who is our Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer for the college.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Carolyn Craig, and as Ted said, I am the Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging for the College of Arts and Science, and I am the Academic Diversity Officer, which means that I work with all our faculty, staff, and students, our dean and his leadership team on everything and ensuring that we have an inclusive learning environment for you all. So I think the thing that I just want to let you know is that there's a lot of things happening in the college around diversity and inclusion. We do have a website. So if you go to the College of Arts and Science website and you hit diversity and inclusion, you'll find out a lot about what we're doing. We have some student success programs that are focused in the DEI space. So we have one for STEM, we have one for humanities and social science that we're launching and just launched a couple of days ago. But if you are interested in getting involved, which I highly encourage you to, there is a tab that has information about a lot of the multicultural and diverse organizations in CAS, as well as links to Miami's peripheral of student organizations. But please take a look at that because I think that might be of interest. If you are a student that is really actively interested in driving change, then come see me. I'm in the Dean's office, in the Dean's Suite in 143 Upham. You guys will receive a lot of communications from me throughout the year. I tend to pass on a lot of information to you, but I just encourage you to, come enjoy your journey, respect differences, get to know folks that are not from where you are, that don't look like you, that have different experiences, because that will also enhance your journey as well. But again, we have a diversity inclusion site. You'll receive information from us all throughout the year. And if you can't remember my name or the college website, just put in CAS Diversity at miamiohio.edu and email me, and we'll be sure to respond. Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to the dean.
All right. So before we start going to questions, because we do have about 15 minutes left, I guess I would like to sort of reiterate what Carolyn and Ted said. We know that most of you guys deal in texts, right? But Miami, the official communication at Miami is still with email. And so we really do encourage you to check your Miami email every day, because there is so much that you will miss if you do not look at that. And as an example, there was a special scholarship that we had for students interested in, juniors and seniors interested in sustainability. And I had a list of everyone who was eligible. So I invited them to apply for this scholarship, and only about 25% actually filled out this half a page application form. And it's my guess that over the summer that the other 75% didn't bother looking at their Miami email. So they're ending up missing out on this phenomenal scholarship opportunity. So do check your emails and make sure you follow up, because that's the way your professors are going to be interacting with you is via email. And so I'm going to have a few words of wisdom or closing advice at the very end, but the questions are starting to come in. So I'm going to take the first one. And then I'll let Ted moderate the questions and pass them off later on. But our first one is, do we offer EMT training programs? So to my knowledge, Miami itself does not offer them. We are getting ready to launch a PA program in the summer of 23, which may have applications to that. But I would suggest that if you're interested in EMT training, go to the Mallory Wilson Center in Pearson Hall, and they can help you get connected on where that training is. And so likewise, anyone who is a pre-health major, the Mallory Wilson Center is the place to go for all things pre-health. All right, Ted, you want to start moderating now?
Sure. We've gotten a couple questions asking, I don't think I've gotten an email. Should I have gotten one? I just happened to spot check a couple of these, and yes, they were sent. It looks like the common title of that email was Need to Know for Day One. So if you want to go back and search off of that in your email, it should have been sent either on the 17th or the 18th, so just earlier this week. So we've got that. We do have a question specifically for Katie from a zoology major. And she's just curious to know if you looked into finding a job or internship in the surrounding communities, places like the Humane Society or the Animal Care Center.
So specifically for me, I'm actually pre-vet as well. So I have looked into getting vet internships, and many places near Oxford are open. The main problem is having a car as a freshman and getting an internship. But many places are open. But with COVID, I didn't do one, but I am planning to do one this semester.
One thing that I would like to ask the panelists is, what would you have liked to have known the Friday before your first semester at Miami? What's something you wish an upper class student had pulled you aside and said, psst, if you do this, it's going to make things a lot easier, maybe for your first week or your first semester. I'm just curious on what you would think or say to that.
Katie, you want to start?
Yep, I can start. So you may be panicked about getting to know campus, but Miami's literally a square. You'll get it in a week. Don't panic. You can ask an upperclassman about where a building is. We will not freak out. I still carry a map in my book bag. And so I wouldn't even worry about it. I forget, since I haven't been here in 3 months, I forget some of the building names. It's not that big of a deal. And for science classes, just get your work done and be prepared for class. And I think you guys will all do great.
I would say, go ahead, Layla.
All right. Well, one of the things I want is to make sure that you are planning your classes. You do this thing in UNV 101 or your introduction course where you will plan your courses out for the 4 years. I would do that. Make sure it's a really serious plan and that you can stick to it and refer back to it when you're planning for classes. So you're not just adding a bunch of fillers if you don't get into the classes you want. Make sure you have your first row of classes, the ones that you consider your priority, have a second plan just in case you don't get into those classes. I cannot tell you how often that will happen, especially because you guys are first years. You will be the last to enroll. So make sure that you have a secondary or third class that you would like to take for your major.
I would say check your Google email, please, 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 and thank you. Everything will be on there. That'll be the new Snapchat, the Instagram, you're constantly going to be checking it. And my second thing would be, it's okay to change majors. I've changed my major 3 times and I'm still alive. So yeah, it's okay to change your major. I was kind of freaking out the first time I changed it, but you will be fine.
We've got a couple of questions that I think are kind of similar to one another, and they're asking, what advice would you give to stay organized with your studies and with your extracurriculars? And then if we take that out, we do have some upper class students who have joined us today as well. Do you have additional thoughts or suggestions for upper class students that have helped you out with your studying and organization?
I can start again. So personally for me, I had a whiteboard in my dorm. I'm very like organized by colors. So for each event it had a certain color and I would write test in red. So knew I had ample time to prepare. And then I always have a organizer in my binders. I personally like binders. I do not like typing on a computer. I need to see it to learn it. So I like binders, but my twin likes a laptop. So just figure out how you need it to be organized to succeed.
I love organization. Okay, I'm ready for this. I have a planner. Okay, I plan my month out every month at the beginning of the month. I make sure to do it before the month starts because you miss something on the first of the month. You will. Okay, and then make sure you're planning your week. And then I say every morning, have you time where you plan your agenda for the day. What do I have to get done for today? Do it while you're drinking your coffee or drinking your tea. I also am an advocate for the iPad. It's new, but I love it. The Apple Pencil is amazing. You can look up pictures and add them to your notes. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had. And it's all in my hand. And the battery life is amazing. You will be able to have it from the beginning of your day to the end of your day, and it will work perfectly. So the app that I use on there is called GoodNotes. Oh, it's wonderful, actually.
I guess I would say I use the calendar on my phone. I want to hear a ding and I know something's up. And I would use, a physical planner. Sorry, physical planner. That's what I would use.
The one piece of advice that I would add, and this is maybe in line with Emiliana, is that with the Google Calendar, you can create your own additional calendars and kind of put them on and overlap things. So you can build out your own calendar for just your extracurriculars, and have one for your classes and one for your extracurriculars, and put them all on and overlap and see what they're doing. So that's something that has been useful for a number of the students I work with. The other thing I would say is when you do put time aside, actually use that time for that project. It's very easy to say, okay, here are my 3 hours to work on this, and kind of give that time up and give it away. But it's very hard to reclaim time later on. So I say, if you put time aside, make sure that you're using it for what it's supposed to be. We've got a question about, what if your professors don't mention anything about textbooks on the syllabus? How do you email them to ask if you need textbooks the first day?
So for my books, if you go to your banner web, and I think you hit student financial and registration, and there should be like student day-by-day schedule and then parentheses books. And you'll click that and you go through each class and it should tell you what books are required. But they will go over it the first day, and most professors do not require it the first day. So I wouldn't worry.
There was another question about doing undergraduate research. So I'm a big believer and fan of that as a biochemistry professor. And that's one of the reasons why I came to Miami so many years ago. You can get started doing undergraduate research in your freshman year. Every year I would have at least 5 to 6 freshmen who would start doing research with me as freshmen. 1 or 2 would decide that research just wasn't for them, which was fine because you need to figure out what you like to do. But then I would have others that would stay with me for all 4 years, end up going to conferences. I took students out to San Diego, to Austin to present their work. They've gotten their names on papers. So what I suggest you do if you're interested in doing undergraduate research, take and go to the department's webpage, look at the professors that it'll describe their research in their areas of scholarship, find 3 or 4 people that sound interesting and send them an email. Just give them the cold call and say, I'm interested in your research. Can I come talk to you about it? And if anything, they'll talk to you too much because faculty love talking about their scholarship. The other thing to do is if you think you've got a cool professor in class and what they're talking about is interesting, go up to them after class and say, I think this is really cool. Can I come talk to you more about your scholarship? And again, they will be more than happy to talk your ear off. So.
And I think it's important to stress that independent research happens across the board in all of our departments. You know, it's science, humanities, social science, you know, languages, it's everywhere. And that a lot of it, majority of it needs to be self-initiated. But when in doubt, you know, talk to your faculty, like Dean Makarov said.
So does that?
I think I'm not seeing any new questions coming in.
There is the Q&A. If you click that, there are questions in there too, if you can see them.
There was a
There
student
we go.
named Jordan that was that asked a question in the chat. He said that he was Tanzanian and he wanted to know how I adapted to the new environment. I came here when I was younger, so it wasn't too much of a adaptation, I would say, to Miami. But if I see you, I will see you. But I will be at the Armstrong roller skating thing if you would like to talk.
Excellent. So I see that we're almost out of time. So what I'd like to do is just encourage everyone to make sure that you get involved with your departments and your majors' first 50-day events. So the College of Arts and Science is really big. We've got 24 departments and we've got 60 majors. And sometimes it's hard to feel like we're a family or a coherent group because we're so big. We try to have events for everyone, but with the humanities, the social sciences, the natural sciences, there's so many different people with so many different passions and ideas that it's hard to get everyone together on the same page for everything. But I encourage you to get involved with your departments. You'll be getting, it should be on your calendars, the first 50-day events. So I know a lot of the departments are having open houses. They're having meet and greets with the faculty and upper class students. So definitely get involved with and participate in the first 50-day events of your departments. And as Ted said, we are here to help. You know, if you have questions, if you have problems, feel free to reach out to Ted, to Carolyn, or myself. We're all really easy to find on Miami's webpage. If we don't know the answer, we definitely know who to put you in touch with. And you've been able to see our students' names on the Zoom window. So I'm sure that they wouldn't mind getting an email from you if you have questions specifically for them, and they can help you make connections too. So with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us. I see that the university has a lot of really great things planned. I think this is the first time I think that they've ever had fireworks. I saw that there's going to be fireworks behind the engineering building there. Is it tonight, Ted? I think it's tonight, maybe, or tomorrow. Maybe it's tomorrow. So so you guys should feel very special because you get fireworks, and I don't know of anyone else who has, but we're all very excited for everyone to be back on campus. So I would just, the parent in me, be smart, be safe, right? Stay healthy, use common sense, and we will have a great semester together. So I want to wish everyone well, and I look forward to seeing you all around campus. Okay, so if you see me on campus with my bald head, stop me and introduce yourself. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.